Hi, my name is Scott Ray, and I'm going to be talking about Google Tools for Teachers. There are a host of Google tools for business solutions, educators, and for everyday use. We are going to focus on the tools used by teachers in the classroom. The main platforms we're going to look at are Google Classroom and Google Drive. But we will also take a look at how Google Slides, Docs, Sheets, and Forms can also be used. Google Classroom was launched in August 2014 and advertised itself as a one-stop shop to save teachers time so that they could focus on teaching. What began to happen in the classroom is what I call Googleification of the classroom. By October 2015, Google estimated that more than 10 million students and teachers were using it. According to Google, another 50 million students and teachers around the world were using Google applications from Gmail to Google Chrome. Many schools were already using Google's suite of productivity tools, Docs, Sheets, and Slides. But what Classroom aims to provide is a way to package all these apps together and add features to what students and teachers need in the classroom. By providing all of these tools free to schools and also offering low-cost laptops, there are now over 80 million students and teachers using Google Suite for Education, and another 40 million students and teachers using Google Classroom. So below here we have all of the Google Suite for Education. We have Google Classroom and Forms for managing your class. You have an administrator app. You have Google Docs, Sheets and Slide, as well as Google Drive for collaboration. You have Google Reminders and Calendar for managing your task, and of course Gmail, which most of us are familiar with, and also a video conference app. So we're going to talk about first is Google Classroom and Google Forms. So Google Classroom is a free web-based service developed by Google for school that aims to simplify creating, distributing, and grading assignments in a paperless way. The primary purpose of Google Classroom is to streamline the process of sharing files between students and teachers. Google Classroom is the ultimate online hub for your classroom. It can be used to publish assignments, create classes, make announcements, organize digital files for your classroom. Student data, along with the information stored in Google Classroom, is secure and never sold to advertisers. Google Classroom allows you to communicate with your students via email without even leaving the app. You can also start a conversation with one, several students, or even the entire class on the same interface. Google Forms, you can use that to create pop quizzes, exit tickets, and other assessments. And the greatest thing about Google Forms is that you can create tests on there that are self-grading. So once you create the form in Google Forms and set up an answer key, all you have to do is import the grades and all the grading is done for you. But I'll talk about that in a little more detail later. Next we're going to talk about the collaboration tools, Google Drive, and Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Google Drive provides 15 gig of online storage for all of its users. There is also more storage available for purchase. With Google Drive, you can store many different file types, from PDF files, audio, images, Word documents, and of course all the files be able to create it in Google can be stored on this drive as well. Perhaps the most useful aspect of Google Drive is the ability to collaborate with others. You can share files and folders with students, allow them to view, download, or create their own documents or files into a central folder for your viewing. Google Drive is a great tool to organize files that you or your students, their parents, your colleagues, to all access securely. Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides, they're all cloud-based. So it's a great opportunity to go paperless here, or at least significantly reduce the amount of papers you're carrying around. Assignments will no longer be forgotten, lost, or eaten by the family pet, because once your student is done working on it, it automatically is saved into the cloud and you can see it. Another benefit to this for teachers is there's no longer a need to carry around that big stack of essays to grade. You can pull up the documents from Google Drive. You can add all your comments, any edits, and as well as the grade right in that same platform, and it automatically saves, and your comments are available to the student right away. Okay, so what are Google Docs? It's very similar to Microsoft Word and Google Sheets, very similar to what we see with Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft PowerPoint, very similar to what we're using when we talk about Google Slides. So let's take a quick look at a video by Google before I share with you some of the things that I've learned in Google Classroom. All right, and pull up our video here. Okay, so that was a quick 2 minutes of what's available with Google Classroom, but let me show you what I've been able to discover with Google Classroom. First thing I'll say is it's very user-friendly. See, these are the classes that I had at the end of last year when I came in as a long-term substitute. But for this class, I did the research project, I just set up a class so that we could take a look at it. So I'll open up the class, and I have just 3 people. These are my stepchildren here. But you see the email address here of their mother. This one is already accepted, so this is where I can communicate with her directly. And as you can see, I invited Gabriel's mother here, and I have yet to invite here, so I'll quickly show you. I'll just type in the email address, and alright, here we go, and invite, and then it's sent out. So when we get all that personal information sheets back at the beginning of the year and you have the parents' email addresses, I would recommend just go ahead and get them all loaded up in there. You can add students directly here where you invite them, and you get to send out their name because it'll just pull up their information, their school email account, and you can add them here. And when you create the classroom, it actually gives you a code You just write it on the board and the kids can add themselves to the class. But what I wanted to show you here is classwork and how easy it is to create. So if we just want to create a question, we can see we can just ask any kind of a question here. And let's see, this is for the research project. So we can say, what is the homework for tomorrow? You can assign the points here, give additional instructions, assign a due date. You just drop down here, pulls up the calendar. You make this due tomorrow. And then you can short answer. So this way, when they open it up, they're just going to type in a quick paragraph and it's going to give you the response directly. So we're just going to hit ask and send it out. There, and there it is right there. And you'll see here we have 3 that turned it in, and here it'll say 0, but you have 3 assigned. And so as they turn it in, I'll be able to see how many more I need before we have the whole class that have this turned in. Stream, that's going to pull up all of your assignments here, and on the left it shows what's upcoming. I had the math ticket was due today, and due tomorrow is the question that we just asked. So it's a really good tool. You can send notes in here, that'll go right to the whole class. Have a great weekend. You can ask them to bring some supplies in for Monday. You can send reminders out in here, and all of them will see it. You can also send notes directly to the student, as we talked about earlier in the presentation. You can just send it straight to one person. You can also see here they can have the list of work that they've turned in. Here's everything that's been turned in, which should just be the math ticket. And returned with grade should be none because I haven't returned any. And then we have no missing assignments because that one is not considered late yet. Alright, so let's go back. And I know this is quick, but I want to get a chance to talk to you about Google Drive as well. Alright, so we're going to talk about the collaboration tools, Google Drive, and also Docs, Sheets, and Slides. So this is going to pull up my Google Drive, and you'll see right away in the middle I have folders, and you'll see this is classroom folders for the junior high. This is just where I have stuff saved that I have off of my desktop, and then this is the folder for our class. And so within there I have reference material and stuff like that. But you can see, you can come to Google Drive and you can create a new folder, you can upload your files, and this is where your students will come to create new Google Docs, Google Sheets, or Google Slides. Or if this is where you're going to go ahead and generate something new, you can come into Google Docs, create it, have it in your drive, and then you can give your students access to it. So if you wanted to create a template for them, this is where you could do that. And let's see, I wanted to pull up the the math exit ticket. So if we come here, a really neat feature is you can click on responses, and so we've had 3, and you can click on individual responses and scroll down and see which ones they got wrong and how well they did. And also if you click on the summary, it tells you average score, median, the range, and then the individual scores for your students, and then it also gives you a really useful chart. So again, I just want to emphasize how user-friendly all of these platforms are, and I've enjoyed becoming familiar with them, and I'm going to continue to do so, and I will definitely be incorporating these in my classes in the future and next year when I start my own class. So I've enjoyed the project, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. Thank you.